It has been quite some time since Microsoft released new Xbox console hardware that launched with Halo. They did it back in 2001 when the original Halo was packaged together with the OG Xbox, and Microsoft is kind of looking to capture that magic with Halo Infinite launching day one on Xbox Scarlett. Something's a little bit different about this, because for the first time in really console history, this launch title for next generation is also going to be available on the previous one. So some people are a little bit worried about, well, the OG Xbox One hardware holding back the Xbox Scarlett edition of Halo Infinite. But the Halo boss, Frankie, he had something to say about it. And he basically said, Halo Infinite on Scarlett is going to be special. So let's talk about it, shall we? What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. Sorry for the lack of video content over the past week. I have been feeling really sick. No podcasts, no videos. I apologize for that. But I'm feeling a little bit better, so we're going to have the podcast this week. We're going to have more videos come out. So talking about Halo, it's kind of got me in a good mood, because Halo, as you guys know, is my favorite franchise in video game history. It's why I'm on Xbox, and I am so looking forward to the next chapter in Master Chief's journey. So every little bit of morsel I hear about Halo Infinite just brings a smile to my face, and I wanted to share this interview that Frank O'Connor did with a YouTuber, but this is via GameSpot, because I'm going to link that for you guys to read. And he talked about this distributed release across Xbox Scarlett, Xbox One, Xbox One X, and PC, and kind of how each one of those versions will differ from one another. Now, Frank O'Connor says that people playing on the standard Xbox One and presumably the Xbox One X will still have a good experience. I quote, "The Xbox One is not going to be a second-class citizen. We're building it so it plays and looks fantastic on Xbox One." So for those of you out there worried that, hey, you know what, I'm not going to have enough money to buy the Scarlett day one, I don't have a great enough rig to run that game at 4K 60, so I'm going to play it on my Xbox One X, I'm going to play it on Xbox One. If you were a little worried that maybe 343 would compromise a little bit and you'd be treated like a second-class citizen, Frank says that's not the case. The game's going to look and play fantastic on the Xbox One. But for the first time in, I think, forever, I can't think of previous gens where Microsoft had a cross-gen launch title. Normally, new gen means only those games are available on only that system. That's the way it worked with the 360. That's the way it worked on the Xbox One. There were no cross-gen titles from Microsoft themselves. Sure, there were cross-gen titles from the other publishers for a couple years, but not from Microsoft. So this Halo title is also on PC and is on the brand new console. Now here is what Frankie had to say about that. He said, obviously the special citizen for Halo Infinite will be Scarlett, and we've worked with that hardware team to make sure the game shows up amazingly on it, and work with them to make sure that we know how to make sure the game looks amazing on it, but it will be for Xbox One and it will look incredible. And it will also be for the PC for the first time day and date, so that's exciting for us too. That's changed the way we develop and the way we think about things, but we are always shooting for the best possible hardware target. This time it's going to be up for you to decide. Is it going to be Scarlett or PC? It kind of depends on your PC at that point. But the Xbox One is not going to be a second-class citizen. We're building it so it plays and looks fantastic on Xbox One, and then everything else is plus, plus, plus. But we got a few tricks up our sleeves that we are thinking about. So there you go. I mean, he pretty much says it right there. You know, the best version's either going to be the PC or the Scarlett, depending on how good your rig is. And that they're working with the hardware team to make sure Halo Infinite is a looker for Scarlett. Because let's be honest, it's Microsoft's biggest game since probably 2015 when the last Halo game came out. I can't think of another game that even remotely has the stature from their first party. I mean, sure, you could look at a game like Red Dead Redemption 2 and what Rockstar does, but, this is from first party. So you kind of think, well, what are they going to do to make Halo Infinite a special citizen, right? That's what Frankie said in the article. Well, we know what Microsoft has been talking about with the Scarlett at the reveal. They're going to have the SSD internal, so you probably are looking at way reduced load times. And since it's going to have a much better CPU and a more efficient GPU, you're probably looking at higher resolutions, at a more stable frame rate, maybe 4K 60 open world, no load times, reduced load times, maybe better lighting, better textures. And of course, if you have the PC, and you want to run everything in Ultra, but you have the PC to run it, you'll be able to do that. But then also, when you're thinking about it, what is the other thing Microsoft has kind of been talking about and saying that Scarlett is going to have, and that's ray tracing. So I definitely see a scenario where, Halo Infinite comes out and it features Microsoft's ray tracing. And, just thinking about that and I've seen some demos of Control with ray tracing on versus ray tracing off and how much better it looks. So I would really love to see what Halo Infinite looks like with the ray tracing on. But that is what you're going to get for next generation. Microsoft is it's all about choice. And clearly, Frankie says that right here. It's about choice. Where do you want to play it, Scarlett or PC? You have the X, you want to play in the X? Great. You can play it there, you can buy it there. It'll be a great experience. It won't be the best experience, because that'll either be the PC or Scarlett, but you can do so. Kind of falls in line with everything else that Microsoft is doing. But make no mistake about it, the Scarlett is going to be the best version of Halo on console. The question some people have is, will that be enough to push them into Scarlett day one? And just reading this interview is one thing. Hearing that they're doing special things for Scarlett does kind of make me a little bit excited. I would love to see ray tracing, the reduced load times, better lighting, better textures. Those are all great, especially if you have the TV that can showcase the game. But that'll be truly up for Microsoft to kind of advertise and put out there and be like, look, we know people love the X. I love the X. The X is one of the best systems I've ever owned. But some people are just like, you know what? I'm good with the X. I don't necessarily need to upgrade. And this is where Microsoft's marketing team, and when you can show a comparison between games, be like, do you want this or do you want this? And, you need to make those changes pronounced. So just hearing that Halo Infinite is special, that kind of is yes, it should be special. This is the biggest franchise that Microsoft has, maybe will ever have. I don't think they've made anything that comes close to Halo, in my opinion. So when you look at all this different stuff, when you see that, they got to make sure all this game works across all the consoles, which is pretty tough considering they just delayed Halo Reach for the console because of a memory limitation of the Xbox One. So I understand when people say, you know what, I'm worried that Halo Infinite is going to be held back on the Scarlett because they have to make that game work for Xbox One and Xbox One X. I understand those concerns, but then you see some of those games that come out from third parties, like Red Dead Redemption 2, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. There's plenty of games that you could mention that run one way on the S and then have a huge leap on the X, even comparatively to the Pro. So it really is up to the developer. And yes, I know that of course Frank O'Connor is going to say that the game's going to look and play great on the Xbox One. He's not going to come out and say the game is going to run like garbage on the Xbox One and the Xbox One X. Obviously, they want to present that the game's going to be great no matter where you play. So I understand a little bit of PR marketing goes into this, but this is the flagship franchise for Microsoft. I expect it to look absolutely bonkers on the PC. I expect it to, use everything that they are working for and putting in new on the Scarlett, like ray tracing and fast loading and all that stuff to showcase that version, and then it's going to just run and look very pretty on the X and the S. So no matter what version of Halo Infinite you are going to play, it is going to be really good. And I can't wait to play it next year, launch day, on my Xbox Scarlett. Anyways, guys, that is the video. Make sure you let me know what system you plan on playing Halo Infinite on next year. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel for more content. Share this out on social media or wherever you share stuff. I greatly appreciate that. And if you always want to be notified when I drop new videos, make sure you hit that notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.